Well, it's Friday night, and I can't seem to shut my brain off from the market before the weekend starts. So I thought I would do a video, a little self-therapy, um, and I guess I get to see who has a life here too, because I see some comments rolling into the blog as I record this, um, and here I am responding to them. So I guess that says something about me as well. But again, I'll be out most of the weekend, at least Saturday afternoon, and through Sunday evening, as my wife and I take a trip hour or so north from here to Boston for the weekend. And I'm a little tired, so if I look a little bit groggy, that's why. But I wanted to get this out because a couple of thoughts that have been going through my head, actually through the dinner hour and into tonight, and as I've seen some of the comments come in, and I thought again, rather than type, I just ramble on here a little bit. But one of the comments that just came in, and one that I've just responded to, was a comment that Abel posted, and he said something here, if I can find it here. All those small gains per contract really add up. And I responded to him, and you can read the response in today's post, in a way that I thought would hopefully help. And what I said here is I cannot comprehend making a million or a multiple of a million. My brain just doesn't work that way, but I can certainly comprehend a small figure over and over and over, and simply let time and math do the heavy lifting. And then I go on to say time and math, so simple, yet few in this impatient world, and especially in the U.S., have the patience and longevity to make it work for them. And I closed it by saying it's not about today, it's about tomorrow. And you know, I thought about that response a little bit, and I guess I want to reinforce, you know, what I'm trying to get at there. And again, one of the reasons I have that silly countdown clock to the left of the blog is because it certainly helps me put time in perspective. You know, it really is amazing if I mean, you can bring out all the analogies you want in terms of, you know, you're building a building a brick at a time. You know, journeys a step at a time, but you know, it really is a matter of simple time and math in this business. I think once you figure out you know, what the high probability sequences are, you know, you don't try to bite it off all at one time. You know, I've certainly tried that at times, and I'll tell you firsthand, it doesn't work. And it is really, I think, a matter of chipping away, and that doesn't mean you have to trade 1,000 times a day, but it's certainly, I think, an easier way for you to get your brain around, you know, the concept um, of some of these large sums that you hear people making over the course of a year, or decade, or whatever. You know, when you really look at it, you know, I have a lot of trades during the day that, you know, I'm making a couple $100 each, and you know, that might sound like a lot to some, but to me it's a very small amount. But you know, time and math again do the work. And I don't know. I don't want to get preachy, but you know, I certainly think that people in this country, in the U.S. anyway, including myself, are so impatient at times, and that we just miss that part of the picture, and I think it hurts us over time. And all I can say is I know when I've tweaked my own view of trading in the year and all that kind of thing, that it seemed to make sense, and it seems to work for me. So, you know, if it works for you, great. You know, I pulled out this, and I've referred to this in the past, Think and Grow Rich. It's a great book here. But there's a chapter in here that talks about decision. And just read something real quickly here. It says, analysis of several hundred people who had accumulated fortunes well beyond the $1 million mark disclosed the fact that every one of them had the habit of reaching decisions promptly and changing those decisions slowly, if and when they were changed at all. People who failed to accumulate money, on the other hand, without exception, have the habit of reaching decisions, if at all, very slowly, and of changing these decisions quickly and often. And then right on the next page, this is pages 119 and 120. Goes on to say the majority of people who fail to accumulate money sufficient for their needs are generally easily influenced by the opinions of others. Um, and I made a promise to myself I would not get on the advisory and chat room rant, and I'm not going to do that. But you can read what you want into that. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know. I certainly obviously spent some time looking at what's going on in my own trading as of late, and I'm still trying to come to grips with what it's telling me. Many of you that have been following this for some time know that I'm not a big statistics guy, but it has gotten to a point where it is very tough to ignore in terms of the consistency, and perhaps now that my brain is into this a little bit more than it had been in December and January, that I do need to take a strong look at my sizes and maybe start to press the accelerator a little bit. Maybe not to the extent that I did in 2008, but again, I can't quite put my finger on what this is telling me, and that's just something I've got to figure out. I'm not looking for any magical answers or anything. And please, again, if you're new to the blog, if you think this is me basically saying, look how good I am, I've had 29 straight days of profits and that kind of thing. I really don't want to come across as that, and if I do, and if it sounds like that, slap me. Please respond, or please refer to the FAQ section on the left if you're new to the blog, because again, that will destroy my trading as quickly as anything if I really start to think that I've got this thing figured out. I guess all I'm trying to say is I've got some data that's staring me in the face, which is kind of like that elephant in the room, and I've just got to figure out where to go with this. That's my own journey, and again, part of what I'm doing tonight, I think, is a little bit of self-therapy in terms of trying to put this year in perspective, and again, that's something that I've got to figure out. Not sure what else I want to talk about. Certainly, it was an interesting day today. I mean, that surge at the open was just incredible, and as I mentioned in my post, I certainly got caught initially. Was not too pleased about it. But I guess one thing that I have been able to train my brain to do over time is whenever you're in a situation like that, the first thing you really think of is, well, okay, this is really telling me something, and it was certainly telling me that that there was strength in the market, and that certainly provides the confidence to not give up and to go in fairly strong on the first reaction back the other way. Just to reinforce with people, as I look at the chart on my other monitor here, those are not just bar charts that I'm showing or that you're looking at during the day. It's a visual representation of human action, of human emotion, and I think when you start looking at it that way, I know for me anyway, it helped me really understand what the charts were telling me about. It's not really a pullback on a chart. I mean, what that is that's a whole lot of traders needing to cover or go long who missed the first opportunity. So rather than looking at it as a pullback and an expected extension, you look at it as, well, you've got a bunch of traders there that have to take some action. And what's the likely result of that action? And at least that helps me put a lot of this in perspective during the trading day, and certainly helps me avoid the emotion that maybe other people are dealing with. So, I mean, it was a bit of a comeback, a bit of a dance this morning, a bit of a hectic dance, but just wanted to share what was going through my head anyway. 10 minutes is almost up. Some thoughts on a Friday night, kind of tired, but looking forward to a great weekend. Keep the comments coming. I'm getting very serious about doing something in the Boston area for people around here. I'll keep you posted on that, but again, I think we're going to do something maybe on an ongoing basis. So I'm looking forward to that. Have a great weekend, and we'll catch you later. Have a great night.